Welcome back to another episode of the Walking Towards Light podcast. I'm your one and only host, Walker Williams, and this is a place where you can learn, you can grow your consciousness, and you can be your best self. Now, I'm glad we back again. I told y'all, we not going nowhere. All right. This is consistency. We going week after week. Okay. And I got, like I said last week, I got so much stuff for us to go through and for us to talk to. And I got too much on my mind just to keep it there. Okay. It's a lot of things that need to be said. And what I want to talk about today is something that I've had a lot of history with. Okay. I've had a lot of research and understanding through my own experiences that I've lived through personally. So I just felt like it would be a perfect time to talk about this because I've lived through it. We're talking about health. Okay, we're talking about your diet. We're talking about eating healthy. Okay, this was just strong in my spirit to talk about because I think we need to start having more conversations about your body and taking care of your body and what we're consuming, okay, and what we're conditioned in. And I think it's time to have those conversations. And I know that as our generation has been getting better with health, and we've been more mindful of our bodies and taking care of that, which is a great thing. But I feel like there's a lot of information that people can use to make it even better, make it easy, make it more easier for themselves as well. So I want to bring my experience into my health journey, and hopefully y'all can take something from that. Because I've had a pretty experienced health journey, and also I want to say this. I hope y'all are having an amazing week before we get into the podcast. I hope y'all have an amazing week. When it's dropped, it's going to be Wednesday. So it's going to be mid this hump day. So I hope y'all enjoying yourself, and I hope y'all pushing through and, being your best self. I had to say that, I want to check in on my peoples, we like a family. Okay. So let's dive straight into my story, my health journey. All right. Now I'm going to say this. My health journey is very unique. Like it's something that I felt was spiritually guided. And let me land when I say this. Now, growing up, you can say that I was eating some of anything. Like I feel like growing up in my household, my parents and us as a family, we was just, you growing up, you just eat McDonald's, you eating Taco Bell, you eating candy, you eating my favorite snacks and stuff like that growing up was like cereal and Cheez-Its and Gushers and all of these things. As that's our fun. It's just such a snack and treat, like honey buns and brownies and all of these things, Skittles, all of those things. Like I was born in a household where this was like a norm for us, and eating fried foods and all of these things was just such a norm. And I feel like as I got older, those things just was consistent through my probably until right before 2020 actually. Right before 2020 actually, but we're going to get there. But before 2020, I'm eating whatever. Like I feel like for me, my diet was just, I wake up and just decide, okay, I'm probably going to get Chick-fil-A today. I'm probably going to get American Deli, or I'm probably going to get Wingstop, or like I'm eating. And no, the number one thing, let me not forget the number one thing I would eat every day. Throughout the week, I'm most likely eating pizza, whether it's Little Caesars, Papa John's, majority Papa John's and Little Caesars, because at that time I ain't have all the money in the world. So Little Caesars, DiGiorno pizzas, all those things. Like pizza was like the number one thing for me. And pizza's still my favorite food. I just can't have it that much now. It has to be like a plant-based pizza, something like. But that was my life. Like I was eating Taco Bell almost every day as well. Like you couldn't tell me not to get a Crunch Wrap Supreme. Like that was my favorite meal at Taco Bell. Give me it, and I knew it was so bad that you know it's bad when the taco, when the fast food restaurant or whatever restaurant remember your name when you pull up. Like, they definitely remember me. They knew my order exactly. I think the crunch wrap at that time, the price probably changed, was like $4.79 or something like that. That's how you know how bad I was at it. But like, even when it came to like sodas, I'm drinking Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew was my favorite soda. So, and I had a real bad like addiction, low key, to sodas like Mountain Dew. I used to have like 2 Mountain Dews a day, and that's crazy. Like, thinking about the sugar that's in Mountain Dew, I look back and I was like, yo, I was going crazy. I used to. You can ask my sisters, you can ask my family. Like, I had to have a Mountain Dew on me every day, and that was my life. And that was my comfort, it's comfort food. So it's just like, you so used to eating those things, your body you just want that. And, and we gonna get into the ingredients, but like, they have a lot of things that make you want more of it. You know what I'm saying? Your body get accustomed to the unhealthy lifestyle, and you get used to eating that way. And I feel like I always had moments or spurts where I was like, okay, I need to eat healthy. And I would like go on this like run of like eating chicken salads and eating fruits and trying to do better for myself. But I feel like I didn't take it serious enough before 2020. Like, I would have spurts, but then I'd go back into the patterns of fast food, junk food, over and over and over again. And this why I say that it was spiritually guided for me, because 2020, it's like my whole trajectory with health changed. But it was sparked by a health issue that I started having. I started having acid reflux, and it came out of nowhere. But honestly, it really didn't come out of nowhere. But see, because now that I look back at it, I realized how much of gut issues that I had before it even just like hit like a peak. Like, my body just started, it was communicating with me the whole time. And that's another thing. Your body's always communicating with you. Your body's always telling you what's going on. And at that time, I just didn't know what the issue was. Before like the acid reflux came on, like, I used to have cramps. Like, I used to cramp in my stomach. Like, every morning I'm waking up, and I used to wake up with a cramp in my stomach. Like, it used to be a bad one too. But looking back, that's because I used to go to sleep. I used to eat 6 pieces of pizza. I used to eat a whole box of Little Caesars pizza until the the brim of my stomach. I used to eat until the brim of my stomach, and then go right to sleep after, not even giving my stomach enough time to digest the food. I just eat, just get a whole food coma, go right to sleep, wake up with a cramp, because my stomach, which I learned now, my digestion system, it burns slowly. I don't have like a quick digestion. And I used to wake up, and that was a thing that would go on for like, it was going on for years, but I just never knew what it was, because like, I wake up and I know this, we're talking about health here, and we all grown. Okay. I used to have cramps, and when I have a bowel movement in the morning, it'll go away. So I just thought it was normal. Right. I just thought it was normal, because I'm like, okay, when I wake up in the morning, I do my thing and it goes away. But looking back, that's not healthy. Nobody should wake up with a cramp every morning. And that's because I would be eating these type of foods right before I go to sleep. And these foods, your stomach can't even digest properly, honestly. And I would do that and wake up with a cramp. But that was just the early communications. And it took a lot of time, and this is so crazy. A lot of times it will take something major happening to you that will wake you up out of this, like, the same patterns, the same cycles that you're going through. It might, for some people, it might have to take a real wake up call, what you call a tower moment in tarot, right? A lot of times it might take that, because if it's something small, you might ignore it, be like, oh, okay, like it. I mean, I be feeling something, but like, it's not major, so I'm gonna keep eating or keep doing what I'm doing. And that's with any situation, but we're talking about food here. And mine's happened after a concert. I went to go see Janae Aiko too. It was a free concert at University of Memphis. Don't regret going there. I'm gonna tell you that. But that was a wonderful concert. But I feel like, and I remember I had like a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich right before I went. But I think it was something with my immune system. I've learned a lot about my immune system as well over the years. That it was an outside concert, so like so much smoke and all these things going up into the air, and I'm consuming, and all this stuff is getting consumed, and my immune system is already at that time was weaker, so it could trigger anything. And I woke up the next morning and my throat was burning, esophagus cooked. Esophagus is straight cooked. And I'm like, I can't even really talk. And I remember I was like, this was at the time I was making music. I was making R&B music. I felt like I was going to go down this lane of like being a musician. And that stopped that in the tracks. It stopped that. This was in 2019. It stopped that in the tracks because I couldn't even really talk either. I was on the phone with my friends and I couldn't even talk long. I'd just be like, I got 10 minutes to talk before my esophagus feel irritated. And this is when like I start experiencing acid reflux symptoms too. Like I couldn't even lay down on my back. I couldn't even like lay down flat without acid coming up. And one thing about me, I'm a hypochondriac. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm a hypochondriac. So when it comes to my health and me, I can't operate in a sense of like being like lack of health or like something that's bothering me or something that's don't feel 100%. I'm going to want to get to the bottom of my issue until I'm back healthy. It's hard for me to sit in something and knowing that something is wrong. I'm going to obsess about it, honestly. I'm going to obsess about it and I'm going to research on that thing until I figure out what it is. And because acid reflux is not fun. And I know it's a lot of people out there with acid reflux. It's not fun. And waking up and you got acid coming up, or like it was moments I'll wake up in my sleep, I'm choking on the acid. Like I'm waking up from that. Like it was bad. Mind you, I never experienced that. But also looking back when I was a kid, I had moments of like where acid would come up. I just didn't know what it was. I'm like, what is this nasty? Did I just throw up in my mouth? Like, what is that? But it would be like a little, the nasty acid for all of my acid reflux people. You know what I'm talking about. So it was smaller symptoms communicating with me in my early childhood and high school and stuff like that early on. I just never picked up on it until it hit me with the big like situation that woke me up. And I feel like for me that changed everything for me. And that's why I say I feel like it's spiritually guided, because I look back, if those events didn't happen for me, who knows? Like today, I probably would have still been eating Crunchwrap Supremes every day and eating like, and not being thoughtful of what I was consuming, the food that I was consuming every single day. And I just feel like spirit guided me and be like, hey, this have to happen for you can be able to redirect yourself. This is not the land you're supposed to be in. This is not the way you're supposed to be eating for yourself. You got a lot to do here. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like that was like a big savior for me. It's like, because the way the direction of my life has changed ever since that tower moment for me, like my whole life did a 180. And let me explain why I did a 180. Before 2020, I feel like everybody has a 2020 experience though. Like you came out of that COVID experience with something. And I started cooking for myself. Mind you, I never cooked before 2020. I never cooked. I didn't even know how to cook. You know, I stayed in a household with my sisters, my mom, my dad. They was all cooking. They knew how to cook. But me, I'm the baby. I didn't know how to cook. Or I didn't even attempt, because either my sister would be cooking breakfast, my dad would be cooking breakfast majority of the time, or my mom would cook something if she, had to cook at the time. But me, I'm just like, being a little kid and just, going by my way and really being, what's the word? what's the word? I was spoiled. I was spoiled. I was a spoiled kid because just me being the youngest. Like I was spoiled, and I can say that. So I just never felt the urge to do it myself. But after that event, and I couldn't talk, it's like one thing you can't do for me is like you can't take away me talking. Like that was like instant. I have to change my life around because one thing I'm not finna not be able to do is talk. Like ain't no way, because I love talking. So it just that put a battery in my back of like I'm finna figure this shit out. I'm finna figure out how I can heal myself. I'm finna figure out how I can recover my esophagus, how I can get back to health, and for I can sleep regularly. I even had to buy a pillow that it was one of them slanted pillows. I couldn't even sleep straight on my back no more. I had to sleep on a slanted pillow every night for about 3-4 years. So I started cooking for myself. Let me get to this. And I did a lot of research on how to heal. Look at the foods that can heal your esophagus lining, your gut lining, and can heal your stomach. And the first thing I started doing was I did a lot of research, and I just got into clean eating. Like that was my big first step, was getting to clean eating. I started eating grilled chicken, broccoli, and rice. So I started meal prepping, and because the thing with me is I can't eat spicy foods. Like I used to eat spicy foods growing up, but then it just stopped resonating with my body. It started rejecting it. So I couldn't eat spicy foods, and all of these meals trying to eat clean will be just so fancy. And I'm like, I'm the type of person, I just need simple shit. Like give me something I can cook easy, something that's like quick and to the point and that's efficient. And so when I started cooking, I started meal prepping, which is so funny. My mom and my dad was just like, they was like in awe of like, I never would think he would start meal prepping for himself. But I started cooking grilled chicken, broccoli, rice. Then for dinner, I would have salmon, rice, and broccoli. So I'll get like a slab of salmon, cut it up, have that throughout the week. And then I get grilled chicken I get like a whole pack of chicken breasts and cut them up. So what I would do was, this is a little side story, but what I would do is I would put them on a pile and I just cook them all together. I would bake them. So I really just bake them in the oven, and it'd be like a pile of chicken. Like little chicken nuggets on top of each other. I can't explain it. But that started healing me. I started eating cleaner. And I think one of the big wake up calls for me too was I would go to the doctors and stuff like that. And the thing is, doctors, this is no disrespect to doctors. This is no disrespect to that industry. I don't want to distract. I just want to bring awareness. You know, a lot of times it's more of like my big thing with going to the doctor, or just say you got to go to the minor med. It's like, I'm big on care. I'm big on actually wanting me to be better, actually caring about my health, rather than just like prescribing me with something that you just hope that it's gonna work. Like that's the one thing I picked up from me going to a doctor that I just don't like. I don't like the energy of like, you tell them the issue and they just go and look and see what matches what you're telling them in hopes of that it work. Right? They'll prescribe you the pills and say, okay, this should help you. And if not, you come back to us and we'll prescribe you with something else. Mind you, these pills be having side effects. And it's just like you just trying pills, you trying drugs to see if they could work temporarily. Because one of the things that I learned and I understand is that a lot of times these medications are not going to actually heal the root issue. They're going to cover up and act like they're doing it, but it's not healing. It's making you feel better temporarily, but it's not actually healing the root. That's why a lot of times with people, when somebody have a issue that it prolongs. But it's like, I know there's a lot of people that's going to listen to this that may have some type of issue to where it's been a reoccurring thing. You going to 20 different doctors, going to them, and they prescribe you more medicine, prescribing you this pills, prescribing these pills, and it's not helping you out. Because the thing is, I feel like the disconnect there is not, a lot of times they're not going to tell you, okay, maybe you should start eating better. This the type of diet that you need for yourself. You need to eat cleaner. You need to eat these alkaline foods for your body. Target these different areas for yourself with these foods that can help you. Now, I'm not saying that they can't help you. I'm not saying that the industry can't help you, but I feel like sometimes they don't help you with the root of the issue, because a lot of times it be deeper than just pill medication. You know, especially like antibiotics and all those things. Those medication, they drain your system. They take all of the good bacteria out your body, and that's why a lot of times people get messed up from antibiotics. It mess up their pH balance. You know what I'm saying? Because the good bacteria gets sucked out with antibiotics. And that's the thing. It's like a lot of things that I've learned has came from my own research. I had to become my own doctor. Once I realized that, like, I can't really find the help that I'm looking for at that place to actually heal what's really going on. Like, I don't want to just be faced with medications and pills all the time. I actually want to get where this come from. What's the root of it? Why is this even there in the first place? And I had to learn that my whole life I was eating foods that wasn't good for my gut. Like, I was eating processed foods, fatty foods, oily foods, like cheap oil foods. Like, all of these things was disturbing my gut system, disturbing my gut biome, throwing off of my pH balance in my gut. It's deeper than what a pill can do for you sometimes. Like I said, yes, it can heal you, but yes, it can help you. But I think in terms of if you're dealing with something, a lot of times you might just need a certain type of, you might need magnesium. You might need these type of vitamins that can help you more than just what a pill can prescribe you. Like, shout out to Big Sean. There's a story. He said in his song, he was like, he went to the doctor and he was having heart issues, and they said he gonna have to be on a pacemaker. And then he said his mom took him to a holistic doctor and they prescribed him with magnesium. And he went back to the doctor and they said he didn't need the pacemaker no more, just by taking magnesium, because magnesium is good for the heart. Okay, like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, a lot of times, like I said, it's no disrespect, but a lot of times they just suck you dry there could be a natural way of healing. I feel like there's food put here purposely on this planet that can heal every aspect of things that we face and we go through, from the organic, from the natural earth. Like, I think that's why it's placed here to heal us. Like, these fruits and vegetables, all these things are put here to heal a certain aspect of things that we could face. Shout out to Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi. I hope I pronounced your name right, my boy. Rest in peace to Dr. Sebi. Definitely, he did amazing things on this planet. But that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of these things I had to learn. I had to learn these things by myself. And me doing that, me making those changes, to go back to my story, but me making those changes, I felt the instant change of my health. My esophagus instantly started to heal. I removed, because what I did was I went complete cold turkey from junk food, complete cold turkey from fast food. I remember the last fast food meal I had, was a fish fillet from McDonald's. Dead serious, a fish fillet. And I remember my esophagus started burning. I said, yeah, that's the last time I'm eating something like that. I actually had a vegan fast food spot. It was vegan though, which is a little different, but they still probably cook their stuff in like canola oil and stuff like that. But we're gonna get to those type of things. But I instantly start feeling better. I'm eating clean food. I'm eating food that's good for my body. I'm eating fiber, broccoli. I love broccoli, by the way. Broccoli is my favorite type of vegetable, even though the broccoli we eat is, man-made, but it's still healthy. It has a lot of health benefits for you. And I instantly felt an effect. And let me not go, I'll be remiss to not say how much important it was for me to start drinking water as well. Water is a big part of health. Water is a big part of your healthy body, okay? Good water. I'm also a spring water type of guy, just to put that in there. Like I was a big high pH water drinking guy at one point, but then I realized that a good water that matches your pH is just as good as a high pH water, which works better for me. But yeah, water is everything too. If we can put that in there. Water is everything. Your water, water is everything because your body is 70% water. Okay, we got to stay hydrated. The more water we drink, the more our body, our skin is more clearer, more fuller because we're giving our body hydration. We're giving our body the fuel that it needs to keep running. You look healthier. You feel better when you hydrate. A lot of times, it's a lot of people out here dehydrated. Not getting enough water. And there's grace here. There's no judgment. I forgot to make that disclaimer here. There's no judgment on people's diets. This is just all about awareness. It's all about awareness here. Okay, I just want to bring awareness to the collective on eating better. But like I said, I instantly felt a difference with water, good water, eating clean, grilled chicken, rice, broccoli, salmon, rice, broccoli, right? But then I felt like I wanted to take a step. I was getting more into my spiritual journey. And I was like, how can I get more spiritually close with Source? How can I feel and have more clarity within my body and my soul? So I started getting into a vegan lifestyle. Okay. I started doing research on what it means to be vegan. At this point, this is what I'm looking into a vegan lifestyle, what this can do for somebody on a spiritual path. And I was reading of just how good it is for somebody if you're trying to have better meditations, you're trying to have more clarity, more downloads, more easier to have more downloads, more lighter you feel. You want a lighter body. And all of that resonated with me. And speaking of water, we need a water break. So I went cold turkey vegan. Like I did all my research on being a vegan. How much protein could get from certain foods, what I need to get for carbs, what I need to get for complete proteins, fats, good fats, all of that. So I went cold turkey. I remember I did the research. I did the proper research. I was like, okay, I don't want to make sure that because I feel like a lot of times when people go plant-based vegan, they don't do the proper research on what does that mean. Like they just jump straight into it. Now I went cold turkey, but I researched before I went cold turkey. I didn't just like watch a video and be like, I'm gonna be vegan tomorrow. No, everything I do is calculated. Everything I do is research before I dive into that world. And there was a lot of research that went into it. And like day one, I had everything that I needed. I came in with the right amount of protein I need to use. Now, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of things that I had to learn. There was trial and error. There was a lot of things. And I kept it simple, just like when I was eating meat to not eating meat. I needed something simple. I'm not a fancy type of person. I can just eat as long as I'm getting the right fuel, the right nutrients from my body, I'm cool with that. Like I was like, just, I was just looking on YouTube, just trying to find just somebody make meals simple. I just need simple meals, which was difficult at first, um, but I end up finding somebody and I end up getting into lentils. I start learning about tofu, and I know people have a certain a misconception on tofu with the whole estrogen thing. I did a lot of research on that. So it's like there's a lot of like mixed reviews. There's just a lot of conversations going on with tofu. What I read, I just got a good feeling on tofu, and tofu is a complete protein. It's soy for people who are allergic to soy, by the way. But me personally, I felt like I could eat tofu. Like just from my research, I'm like, I'm gonna go with tofu. And I've been eating tofu for like 4 years now. I've been plant based for like 4 years. 4 years, I think. Yeah, I think so. Um, and honestly, I've been loving it. Like I feel like I was completely vegan for 2.5 years. Like I wasn't eating meat. I wasn't doing none of that. Like I was vegan, and I was sticking to that. And I never had no issues. I never had no issues. I never felt sick. I never felt weak. I never felt it was a good transition, but I think the good transition was the not having junk food. Like I already cut out junk food before I went vegan. Like I already cut out all the junk, so like switching over wasn't hard for me because it wasn't withdrawals. It wasn't like I didn't. It was like a good transition from going from meat to vegan. When I was eating meat, I was eating clean, anyways. I just happened to just switch the protein to plants, and like I said, this is no. I'm not gonna sit here and say you need to go vegan. Like everybody that's watching this need to be vegan. No, that's not what I'm doing. Because even right now, like I said, I was full out vegan for 2.5 years, but now I can sit here and say that I eat meat here and there. Like now I'm at the place where there's a balance. There's a balance in my diet to where I think the most effective diet is balance. Like I enjoy being 85% plant-based now. And here and there, if I'm somewhere to where there's just chicken on the menu or things like that, I'm comfortable with eating that. I respect the chicken. I understand the process of eating a life force like that, and giving my blessing to that life force for giving me fuel, for giving me that exchange of life force. And I appreciate that animal in that way. There's a newfound appreciation for the meat that I do eat if it's time. I only really eat chicken though. Chicken and maybe turkey. I haven't introduced salmon back into my diet yet. It's not saying that I'm cutting it off completely. I just haven't felt called to do yet. Like it's just been like chicken and a little tad bit of turkey. But like I said, I'm still 85-90% plant-based. Throughout the week, I still eat my plant-based meal preps. And here and there, if I go somewhere and they have chicken, or if I feel like eating chicken, I would get chicken. But it's still not a weekly thing. It's just a here and there thing. I just feel like balance is everything. Once you realize that when it comes to your diet, like balance is the way of life. I think if you eat a good balance of vegetables, vegetables, fruits, clean, what's the word I want to say? I can't think of okay, legumes like beans. Um, you can eat chickpeas, lentils, all those things. If you want to eat meat, if it's cleaned, if it's grilled, if it's baked, whatever. Like even if some people eat red meat, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're eating vegetables and fiber and nutrients and vitamins, I still feel like, and a lot of times it's crazy. Like that's why I won't sit on this platform and feel like and say that everybody needs to be vegan. Everybody needs to be plant-based. I think you need to eat what's best for your body. I think that's the misconception. I think people want to I think the problem is people want to force people to eat the way that they eat or see life the way they see life. So they kind of force that or try to convert people. I think it's allowing people to do what's best for them and their bodies, because I can sit here and eat plant-based all the time and my body feels amazing, right? It does. But their body won't function right if they eating a straight plant-based diet. Sometimes people might need meat to be able to process better, to be able to function better. So who am I to try to convert you to eat the way that I eat? Your body is not my body. But one thing that I would say or would recommend is just balance. I think you can still have your favorite comfort foods, but only if I really think it's like an 80-20 type of thing, an 80%, 20%, like, your favorite comfort foods, or if you got favorite snacks, or if you want to go get wings, or if you want to go get a burger, right? I think those, you can still have them there, but are you still eating majorly healthy? That's the thing. And that's what I try to tell people around me, is just that you can have your fun, but as long as you're taking care of your body more, like if you're putting nutrition in your body majority of the time, you should be fine. Whether if you want to be plant-based, whether you want to eat grilled chicken or salmon and you want to have broccoli and you want to have rice, or if you want to have quinoa or avocado, like whatever works best for you, as long as you're balancing these veggies, healthy meats, healthy plants, fruits. If I already didn't say fruits, but like if you get a significant amount of those things, most likely you're going to be healthy. That's kind of like the Mediterranean diet. And honestly, that sounds like the perfect balance to me. And because I think where we go wrong is we could fall into that habit of eating processed and junk and fatty foods every single day. Trust me, I've been there. I was doing that every single day. I was eating Taco Bell, McDonald's, Little Caesars, Papa John's, American Deli, Wingstop. The list goes on. Dixie Queen, all these things daily. Philly cheesesteaks daily. And even junk foods, like these things are, if you sit and think, are not meant for us to consume on the regular basis. And we can see this in America now. I think America is the highest in obesity. Like we can fact check that, but I think so. Like because of this American diet of burgers, pizza, fries, junk food that is being advertised and being branded, and it has literally affected us as a country, just health wise. And I think a big problem of that is the access. And I did not mean this episode be long again. Well, I guess these just yaps. This is good information. We're chatting, but I think the access to these foods is what causes this issue. And I think not the access, but like I think once you're surrounded by so much unhealthy stuff, it's hard not to be unhealthy. Like you really have to have the willpower to face what's in front of you. You seeing McDonald's on every corner. You seeing Wendy's everywhere you go. Or you seeing Burger King. You're seeing Taco Bell on every corner. And also the expenses of these things. Like it costs more expensive to eat healthy, which is so backwards for something that grows from the earth is expensive and it's hard to buy. And so you'll look at that dollar menu and be like, shit, this is all I have. I have to get a McDouble because that shit only $2. You know what I'm saying? Like get a McDouble with a small fry, like that can be my dinner. And that's the unfortunate part about it because it's so accessible because a lot of people in low income areas, that's all they have to eat and to support themselves. You know, there are healthy ways there are some inexpensive ways to eat healthy too. You gotta research that. I mean, like beans don't cost a lot. Like good legumes don't cost that much. What else? It's a lot of things that inexpensive. You can make it work, but we're talking about in totality, like, and the system is so crazy because it's like a cycle. It's like a cycle. The health system is like a cycle, and I think there's a lack of care in that space of we're going to, especially in low income areas, we're going to surround all of these fast food things around them. We're going to make food so expensive so we can't afford it. And so everybody's eating the same way, eating horribly, and now they have health issues. They have heart issues, cardiovascular issues, right? You got high blood pressure. People are having strokes. People are having blood clots. People are having clogged arteries. Okay, like what else? It goes on and on. Obesity, right? Because shit is expensive now. Shit, like the market is terrible. It's not a good state. We're not in a good state for people to afford these things. So it's like you revert to eating fatty foods or eating in the middle section of the grocery store, going to get Little Debbie cakes. All of these things are not good for us. And that's the thing. Like we grow up with and a lot of that is you get addicted to eating that way too. Like the middle section of the grocery store, like the snacks, the Oreos, all these things, like I say, can be eaten. Yeah, those things can be eaten in moderation, but we fall victim of consuming these things every single day, right? These acidic foods every single day, right? There's levels to this. So if y'all don't know, like I said, our bodies, we have a pH balance, okay? There's a pH balance to your body, right? And the more that you eat these acidic foods, like fatty foods, junk food, processed foods, frozen foods, middle of the grocery store, anything in the middle of the grocery store, these are acidic foods, or not even just middle of the grocery store, fast foods, fried foods. That's a big one. Fried foods. All of these things are very low in terms of acidity for your body, right? And this is what Dr. Sebi talks about with inflammation in your body. These foods cause inflammation. If you're consuming these things every day, your body is causing more inflammation, and is more subject to disease. Because all these things, your body is not going to digest these things properly. And that's the thing, like, and I understand that let me not steer this conversation. I want to get to this part, but I want to say that like those foods, they lower your pH. Like I said, you want to eat alkaline foods. We are electric beings, okay? We are electric beings. And so we have to eat foods that feed that electricity, that give us that motion in our body to make sure all of our organs are moving fluidly, are moving properly. You want to eat high electric foods. And like I spoke on, like fruits, vegetables with good fiber, okay? Clean, if you want to be plant-based, vegan, or if you want to eat meat. As long as it's clean, it's cooked at home, most likely it's going to be better for your body. Okay, whichever route you want to go to, right? It's going to be better for your body. These things are more higher in alkaline, especially vegetables, fruits, legumes, okay? These things are naturally more alkaline to help cleanse the toxins in your body, okay? And a lot of times, and that's what I'm saying, like we don't even realize that the foods, that the fast foods, the junk foods, all these things, your body is not digesting it properly. Like all of those things are being stored in you. Those toxins are being stored in your body. They're not releasing. That's why a lot of times if you're eating bad consistently, you'll realize that you're not flushing these things like immediately. Like a lot of times you can be eating unhealthy and not having healthy bowel movements. Like you might not even have a bowel movement in 1 or 2 days. When honestly, if you're eating healthy and you're eating like fiber-rich foods, nutritious food, your stomach should cleanse right almost like an hour after you eat it. I eat so clean, like it happens immediately. Like it goes straight through my system because of the fiber, the healthy aspects, the vitamins. It cleanses your system. It's not supposed to be stored there. That's what caused the inflammation and the fat, the saturated fat. So it's like these are things to be mindful of, because we're talking about freedom. We are freeing ourselves from that cycle. It's like we've seen so many, especially in our black community, for our black people, we've seen so many of our people lose so many people due to high cholesterol, to high blood pressure, heart attacks. We lost so many people that way, and it's so like heartbreaking, because even in the era, I even talked to my mom about this. Shout out to my mom. I love you, Mom. Me and my mom talk about this all the time. You know, in their generation, there wasn't it was kind of rare. Like we're getting more aware of health. You know, you see a lot of people caring about their bodies, but back then they never really, health wasn't the big thing for them. Like being healthy, avocados, like, what else? Like all those, like the healthy way of living, the way we are now, that's where it's like, that's more of the, like, we was eating, you know, growing up off soul food. You going off of fried chicken. You going off of greens. You know what I'm saying? Collard greens with the hog, not with the hog, but with the turkey leg in there, the turkey neck, whatever was in the greens. But you get the greens, you get the cornbread, all these things. Like that was our culture. Like it's beautiful, because you know that would bring us closer together. We love those type of things. We love soul food. I love soul food. Okay, but these things were conditioned to feel like that's all that we had. You know, like, and that's what I'm saying. We're still, the conditioning of that era is still in us. It's still residue of that. You know, and what's so crazy was back then, you would see so many black people with gardens in their backyard, like so many people, which we don't really have now. You know, a lot of, like, you see a lot of grandmas, they will be getting their fresh vegetables from the backyard. And then they'll go, like, they have that. And then cook some fried chicken or put the vegetables and, add it with something unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? Like there wasn't really awareness, but now it's like we have the opportunity to change that around for future generations. And also like talking about alkaline stuff too, they didn't have that. But also too, a lot of that conditioning and what we was eating and what we felt like we was accustomed still was from slavery. Like a lot of the way we was eating was from slavery. Chitlins and all of these things was derived from that time. And we're growing out of that. That's why I felt so compelled to talk about this, because I just wanted to bring awareness. Like I said, it's no judgment to people diets, to the way people eat. This is just like, I want to help the collective in a way to just bring awareness of these things. Like our bodies, and this is why it's so important too. Like I just want to understand how important it is and how better you will feel by eating healthy. Like, and it's so interesting with your chakra system as well. Like we have 7 chakras. You have the crown. You have the third eye chakra. You have your throat chakra. You have your heart chakra. You have your solar plexus, sacral, and then you have your root. And what's so crazy is that there are foods that match each of your centers, each of your chakra centers, right? Like for your heart, right? The color of your heart chakra is green. So therefore, a lot of green foods could help your heart. And that's true. Like you look at the health benefits of green foods, green vegetables, it helps with your heart. Spinach, kale, all these things are good for your heart health. They provide the vitamins that can keep the health of your heart. Magnesium, iron, calcium, potassium, all these things that are good for your body. Or if you want to eat like for your solar plexus, bananas, your sacral, oranges, what else? Like there's a ton of these foods that are the same color of your chakra system. I just want to bring light to eating healthy and how beneficial, like we have to take care of this vessel. This is our vessel. This is our home in this existence. And I think a lot of times we just feel, I know food can be a comforting thing to where we just feel like, I don't think we think of the long-term effects of what this food can do for us. And also, like, I want to say this. You have to, whenever you're going to get items, I learned to look at the ingredients. Yes, be a nerd about your food. Look at the ingredients. If you're looking at the back of your whatever you're about to get, and it's a whole paragraph full of shit on there, you need to put that down. I'm gonna be real. You need to put that down, because nothing that you should be eating should have a whole paragraph of ingredients. That means it might be a lot of acid, a lot of like color, a lot of things that are not like actual like food. These are things, preservatives. These are things that are high fructose syrup. That's the number one thing. A lot of items in that middle section is got high fructose in it. And high fructose syrup is one of them ingredients that make you feel like you're not full. So you'll want to keep eating more. That's what high fructose syrup do to you. So, or what else be in these things? Oh, another thing to look out for. And I know I kind of been all over the place on this podcast, but it's a lot of good information. Honestly, I love the way like my I just let my stuff flow. So we get to what we get to. But the most important thing I want to talk about is oils. Okay, this is another thing that I can recommend on is oils, because you got canola oil, you got vegetable oil, you have what else? What's another oil? Sunflower oil. What else? Those are so acidic. These are the things that are high in fat, like bad fat, not good fat, but bad fat. But the toughest thing with that is it's because it's cheap. A lot of restaurants have canola oil in their foods, but it's cheap for you because that's what make people, it's so accessible because it's cheaper. It's a cheaper oil. Olive oil, avocado oil are oils that I would recommend that you should eat with, but I understand that they are expensive. Olive oil is expensive. Avocado oil are expensive, but those are good fats. Those are healthy fats. And that's why I love avocado so much, because it's a healthy fat. It's a fruit, and it's good for your body because you need healthy fats. You don't need the bad fat though. Like the bad, no, but you need good fats for your body. Avocado also have antioxidants and all those good things in there. Vitamins as well, vitamin C, all of those things. And like I said, with the oils, you use vegetable oil and canola oil, and you consuming that oil every day. That's, like I said, it's storing in your body. It's causing inflammation. You got to eat cleaner oils with your food. Use cleaner oils with your food. I'm telling you, it's life changing. It's game changing. And that's why I said there's a lot of grace. There's a lot of understanding here, because I know these things can be expensive, but this something to whenever you, if you have the money to buy it or whatever, this is just to bring awareness of these things. And I hope that they can help for you, because they changed my life. Like this, eating this way has literally changed my life spiritually, because the more you eat cleaner, the more you take care of your body, the more that you love your body. Like I said, you start feeling lighter, you feel better, your skin start clearing up. If you're doing this for spiritual aspects, you get to get more downloads, you get to feel more clarity, you feel lighter. Your meditations are better for you. And this is why a lot of times people recommend plant-based diet, because eating heavy foods, heavy dense foods like meat and red meat and all those things can be dense for your body. So the more lighter the food is, the higher the vibration the food is, the more lighter your body feels. Therefore, if you're meditating, you're doing things like that, you're more easier to communicate and feel source within you, to feel that communication, that language. It's more accessible to you because your body is lighter. You're not held down by these dense vibrations. Because animals carry energy. Plants carry energy. Let's be real. Plants carry energy, but there's different type of energies with this. And I think, especially with the mass produced meat, in terms of animals, I know if y'all seen them videos, I seen them videos of what they do to them animals. It's cruel. It's not a good thing. It's ugly. And that meat in that body, it carries that frequency, that energy of fear, of trauma. It carries that energy. That energy transfers once you consume it. That's why I said, if you was to eat meat, I think with me eating meat, there's a understanding of blessing the food before consuming that energy, and giving love to that animal before consuming it. And I think a lot of that has came from just my understanding of tribal communities and ancient communities. I feel like they respected the animal. They gave grace and blessed the animal before killing it or before consuming it, which I truly respect, because that's just like a bow to nature. And I respect that way. And so I added that to my life, and I do that with animals myself. So, and that's why I say it's just, you feel, the main thing is like you feel clearer, you feel lighter, you feel better, you have more longevity. And don't get me wrong, I feel like we all have our certain ways we're going out of this existence. And I feel like that's in our contracts, our soul contracts, of ways that we choose to exit this plane, which everybody exit is not going to be from health issues. It's not going to be from health issues. It's going to be whatever way that is perfect for your story, that the way you chose to go out, right? Which we won't know what it is. Because some people can eat unhealthy their whole life and live to 100. I see people arguing about that all the time. Like, how this person lived to 100. He was eating McDonald's every day. Like, you see that all the time. Which is fair. It can happen. You can eat unhealthy your whole life and still live to 80, 90. And somebody that can be plant-based and vegan could die at 60, 50. You know what I'm saying? We all have our certain different ways of going out. This is just for to be able to be aware of your body, to appreciate your body, to love your body. Therefore, feed it things that give it life, that helps you live more of a efficient, more of a healthy lifestyle. Because one thing you don't want to do is, and I seen this quote is, I'd rather eat healthy now rather than being 60 and going in and out the hospital, taking loads of medications, like spending so much money, spending the half end of my life just going through it because I didn't take care of my body when I was younger. Like, I'd rather spend this money on this healthy stuff rather than spending thousands of dollars from hospital bills. That's just my mindset. I seen a quote on that, and that makes so much sense. I seen that a long time ago, and it makes so much sense. I'd rather spend this money now on healthy food rather than spending 30s of thousands of dollars at the hospital or off medications every day. I'd rather do that. And I think that's just a great way to look at it. I feel like that's just a great way to look at that. Because you don't want to get caught into that system. You don't want to get caught in that system. Like, first of all, the healthcare system is just, like I said, it's no disrespect for people, the nurses, the doctors, but it's just like the things we have to pay for and for our own health is just egregious. It's crazy. Thousands to 10, 20,000, 30,000 for hospital bills. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So we got to save our own ass. We have to save our own ass. You have to be your own doctor. Okay? Get you some good quinoa. Okay? Quinoa is a complete protein. It's a grain. It's not rice, but it's a protein. It's a complete protein. It can be a good blend with, if you want to go plant-based, you want to go vegan, you want to eat with meat, but it's a great added protein with a lot of health benefits. That's great for you. I eat quinoa every single day. I've been meal prepping for 5 years straight. 5 years straight. I never stopped meal prepping. I probably will never stop meal prepping. Like, that's been my life. I eat quinoa, broccoli, lentils, tofu every single day right now. And I love it. I don't have no complaints really. I'm not saying that you should do that though, because I'm a Virgo moon. So I can be consistent with something as long as it's giving me the efficient fuel that I need. And now I know everybody is different. I've came across a lot of people who struggle with meal prepping, struggle with eating the same things every day, and that's okay. You just have to find what works with you, okay? Whether you want to switch meals up every 3 days or whatever, you can do it, okay? And I hope this resonates with you because we are electric beings. I want to say that this is the most important thing. We are electric beings. Therefore, we have to eat electric food. Okay? These processed foods, these toxins, we're not supposed to be eating that shit. Like, that has became a real poison for our bodies. Like, a culture that we cannot shake. The shackles is there. We're not supposed to be eating processed toxic foods every single day. No. And we can't get caught into that matrix. We can't get caught into that system. But yeah, I think the moral of this podcast, the actually what I want to get off on this podcast is just, I want to bring awareness. I keep saying this, but I want to bring awareness of how important it is to take care of your body, because there's so many benefits that come with eating right. I'm talking about from your gut to your cognitive functions. There's so many benefits when it comes to taking care of your body, loving yourself, okay? Loving yourself is meaning that you're going to feed your body what it needs, the fuel that it needs to function properly, okay? And I think I want to bring awareness to this because I feel like we're in an age to where we're growing out of this, and I feel like sometimes people just need to hear perspectives, to help. I would have loved to hear, things like this in terms when I was eating whatever the fuck I was eating. You know what I'm saying? That shit would have helped me. So I just want to help somebody else with just bringing awareness. Like I said, this is not judging your diet. It's not judging where you at in life. It's okay. Take your time. Do the research. Understand. And I hope you can understand enough to make changes, even if it's small changes. Even if it's just getting rid of one junk food. Even if it's just taking a break. Or adding more healthy foods or adding in veggies, okay? Because fiber is important. Vitamins are important. All these things cannot be ignored for yourself. So, and I care about y'all. I care about y'all. As a collective, all these things are going to free us. We just had a conversation on freedom. It's going to free us from just the habitual patterns of eating healthy, spending thousands on hospital bills, being obese, not feeling well, having cardiovascular diseases and strokes just for our people. We don't need that no more, okay? So we got to do the best that we can for ourselves and just the awareness of that. So I just want to ask, just be aware this week of just the things that you're consuming, okay? And even if you just can take one step at a time, to just eat better or to even eat a salad. I mean, just start somewhere. That's all that I wanted to present on this podcast. Just the care and love for my people. And that was heavy on my heart. There's been a lot of that near me, and I'm familiar with that, that life with people suffering from those type of issues, and we don't want to keep experiencing that. And it's better to take care of yourself, love yourself, okay? Be your best self, and that's the first way you can be with being your best self is eating the right foods. We are alkaline. We supposed to be naturally alkaline bodies, not alkaline humans. Okay, we got to treat our body as such. These are temples. These are vessels. Okay, these are not just garbage disposals where you just eat garbage and just hoping that it just don't do nothing to you. But yeah, with love, I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast. I hope y'all can take something from it. I know I was everywhere today, but hope something can land in your spirit, in your heart, in your soul. And I would love to hear your reflections in the comment section. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you turn on that notification for y'all can keep hearing me yap about everything. So I really appreciate y'all. So much gratitude for the people that stayed throughout the whole podcast. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. We'll be back next Wednesday. So make sure you stay tuned and see y'all next week. We out.